I'm going to take a step back away from our donors and just talk about what we do and don't know about the microbiome. It's easy for people to understand why antibiotics kill bacteria. And so when we take antibiotics to protect ourselves and sometimes save our lives, there's a cost to that maybe we didn't think about in the early days of antibiotic use, right? The paradigm was that all microbes were bad. And so if we killed all of them, it wasn't a big deal. But actually, there's a bunch of microbes we do need and are really important. And so there is some catching up we're doing with both antibiotics that we take for disease as a medication, but also antibiotics that are in the food we eat, right? Because antibiotics make conventional meat plumper and worth more money. And so they give antibiotics to chickens and cows. Most of the antibiotics that we're exposed to are not actually for strep throat. They're through our food system. We inherit our microbiomes from our mother at birth. And a lot of that inheritance comes both through our heads coming through the vaginal canal, but also in traditional birth, mom's poop, and the baby gets a mouthful of poop. And so we actually seed babies like as human animals at birth with a microbiome matrilineally.
Wow.
Yeah. And so what we've learned is that C-sections totally save lives, and they're incredible, and they've changed the way that mom-baby birth rates are, because now people don't die in childbirth in the same way they used to.
Yeah, that's
a
big
But just like antibiotics, there is an unintended consequence to the microbiome that can come from that. And I think as we go down that list of preservatives and hygiene and our soap we use to take a shower, all of these things have benefit. That's why we've adopted them. It's just that the unseen microbial world is also impacted. And because we didn't understand it when a lot of this hygiene and practices first came to light, that the baby was literally thrown out with the bathwater, i.e. we've seen a mass extinction event in our microbial diversity because we've had all these things that protect us from disease. But the cost of that was loss of good commensals and diversity in these ecosystems. Fiber and us changing the way we eat is also another thing that's depleted that ecosystem diversity. But I think that's more akin to like the concept of monoculture and farming. Our diets used to be a much more fiber-rich, diverse, and also we would eat plants with microbes on them. We didn't have a system of food that traveled around the world. And as soon as you create an international food system of supply chain, you have to make food that can travel and be good and not rot. And the trade-off, again, is that we have food that's safe, but the cost is that that food is covered in antimicrobials that then impact our gut microbiome. So imagine you have a farm and all of a sudden it goes from rain it's used to 10% of that rain. That's kind of what's happened in our microbiome ecosystem within the gut relative to fiber. It wasn't just a drought. It's like the whole climate has fundamentally changed.
So basically what you're saying is that modern living has caused a crisis in our inner ecosystem.
Diversity, yes.
In the diversity of our microbial ecosystem.
And like mass extinction event, kind of akin to what we see in climate change. Yeah.
So when you say that our microbes are evolving faster than we are and they're helping us with this crisis, I mean, how serious is this? Are microbes going to evolve quickly and fix this for us, or is there something we need to do?
Well, evolution isn't always, like, just because salmon can live in murky, polluted streams doesn't mean that's like the best ecosystem for salmon, right? Okay. Just because we have microbes that are adapting to live in this new environment that we've created, there is still problems with it. So I think we started with this idea that our microbes are adapting, and that's cool, right? That's where the hope comes in.
Yeah, sure.
But the reality is if you kill off too many and you lose whole groups of microbes, you lose entire gene pools, no amount of evolution is going to recover everything. And you do end up with like holes in the system that lead to chronic disease.